Hi everyone, it's Day Late and Dollar Short Lizzie with Project 3. Had a major issue this week, two major issues kind of. The API I selected wasn't able to get me a key until yesterday, which was Saturday afternoon. So that kind of made me pressed for time. I'd already laid out some of my ideas, and this flowchart just gives you a really basic overview. Launch the app, check a network connection. If there's no connection, go to stored data. Otherwise, send the user to check their connection and back to checking the network. Get the data, store the data, display the data, and you're done. Very simple and straightforward. This is also my application statement. I had a really great idea. I thought, Not Another One is the name of the app, and it's an inventory app that you can use when you are out and about shopping for knitting related things. Um, this happens to me all the time. I get out and I'm like, geez, I think I have a pair of needles that size. I think I already have that pattern. Well, I'm sure, like a lot of other hobbies, you don't carry everything with you. You can't remember every single item that you have. So, Ravelry, right here, they have a really cool website that helps you organize and keep track of all that stuff, but it is just that, a website. It doesn't work very well on your phone. I've tried to use it on my phone and it doesn't scale right. Things lay on top of each other. It's just not real friendly. So I thought, hey, if I can make an app and be able to look in my phone and go, oh, yeah, I do already have that pattern. Yep, I do have that size needle. Wouldn't that be cool? So working through, this is the idea I came up with. Let me move this out of the way. And this is the screen flow that I thought would work really well. You open the app, check for signal, check for network connection, and then when you actually get connected, there would be three tabs, one for patterns, one for yarns, one for needles. Those are the kind of big ticket items you don't want to buy duplicates of. So for patterns, I picture just a table with a pattern image and a title, maybe a little description under the title. Same thing for yarns, an image of the yarn and brand, color, quantity that you have on hand. And then finally, a table of all the needles that you own. And I know it sounds crazy, but there are a ton of needle sizes out there. So when you would click on a pattern image or a yarn image, it would take you to a detail page, which would give you a larger pattern image or more of them if there are more patterns, more different, somebody knitted it in a different color or whatever. But then it would go on to tell you about the pattern, like what weight of yarn it uses, what gauge it's knitted in, what hook or needle size gets used, and the yarn would tell you more about the yarn itself, what weight it is, how much is in a skein of it, what gauge it knits up to on what size needle, what kind of fibers are in it. So this is the stuff that would help me in making a purchase out in a store. So that was my idea. This little green box here, basically if you click on the number under one of the needles, down the left hand side here are the types of needles. Across the top are the sizes of needles. So when I click on this box, it says 2, it's pretty teeny. It would pop open and let me see more specifically how I've described that needle, and oh yeah, that's the one that's, got a scratch on it and it snags on the yarn, or oh, that's that icky plastic one, I don't like that one, I'm going to get a new one, that kind of thing. So that's my scenario design. Let me get this out of the way, and here's my app. Because I was having security issues, I didn't try to push it to my iPad. I seem to have issues when I do that repeatedly, so I'm going to save that joy for later this week. But I ran it on the iOS simulator. Basically, here are my tabs across the bottom, and I actually made a fourth tab to show you what I was picturing for this. So I don't have any real data to show you, So these first three tabs, patterns, and then yarn, and then needles, are blank. They're just waiting for data. And this test page, this I pulled from an old project, but this is what I was thinking of, is something like a table with maybe without the header, but a picture and a description. And when I click on this, it takes me to another page that gives me more information. Then I close the window, I go back to the table. So this is kind of what I was thinking of. Obviously, this is not the right information. This is from another project from back in March, but this is what I was going for. The problem I ran into with security, my app.js is just the bootstrap. It boots the app. Net just checks for network connection. All that worked well. The API is where I ran into trouble. I get this error returned. You can see it down here. Code 403 HTTP error. And right in the documentation from Ravelry, they tell you if you do not use uh, uh, if you don't use HTTPS, you're going to get this 403 error. Okay, fine. So I went looking in the Appcelerator documentation under HTTPS, and it says this feature requires a team or enterprise subscription. And I'm not exactly sure what that entails, other than probably money and maybe a lot of money. But this is where I'm stuck. So I'm hoping to talk with our lovely instructor Jennifer and maybe get some ideas how to move past this. So that's where I got stuck. Got the key for the API, but it's not letting me through because of this HTTPS error. So I think I've bitten off more than I can handle this week, but other than that, it sure would have turned out nice. So this would have gotten all my data, calling out to the API and getting the data, parsing it, and then I would have stored it here. I didn't write anything for that yet because, gee, I didn't have any data to play with. And then the data UI, this I threw in, that's what gives us this page here. I just copied and pasted this from my from an old project just to give you an idea of what it would look like. So that's my app. That's my idea for an app. Lots of room for improvement. I think I could improve on just about everything here. So feel free with the comments. Nothing is off limits, and thanks for watching.